Welcome. We are here today with a special presentation called Cthulhu. It's a publishing from Chaosium. It's out of the Gateways of Terror book, and we're doing What's in the Cellar. I'm here with Squingleberg, who you probably heard by accident. But yes, he's here right here.
It's me, Squingleberg. Hi.
Hello. Hey, Pretty. How's it going? So yes, today we're, as I said, we'll be getting into the mysteries of Cthulhu and whatnot, and we are starting our story in where else? New England, Lovecraft country itself. We have old William Billy Graves here.
Oh, Billy Graves.
I've thrown a very stock photo of the young Billy Graves. With his fledgling beard and leather hat. But that can be traded out later.
I love it.
With that being said, this is the character sheet we're working with. He's got a good set of stats. He specializes in hunting. He's got a lot of good little things like stealth, spot hidden, firearms. And he also chose the talent King Vision, which gives him bonus die on spot hidden.
I have some secret information about where you are.
With 20 hit points, 14 magic points, and 70 sanity, he's looking pretty good to come out of this in decent shape. That being said, want to give me a luck roll?
Yeah.
That right away?
I use the green dice, right?
Yes.
Boom. Uh-oh. Syntax error.
Uh-oh.
Maybe do I need to like click on the field? Let's try it again. No. It's given. It says syntax error expected.
Oh, fair enough. There must be a. Go ahead and roll me a D100 though.
Cool.
In roll 20, there's a little toolbar on the left, and there should be a dice. Once you
right
roll
on.
that over, there'll be a little tab, and you can just
there
roll
we go.
a D100.
Bada. Boom. 82.
Nice. 82. Well done.
I'm a lucky Billy Graves.
Some of that.
Not as lucky as my cousin though.
Right. Some of that Blackwater.
Some of the that Blackwater's rubbing off.
Yeah.
That Blackwater look. So I put in 82. Cool.
Absolutely. As we open the scene, William Billy Graves has received a letter from a law office that his brother is associated with. Mr. Joseph Klein has requested a meeting from him, stating that it's on Arthur Blackwood's, well, it's between the meaning of life and death is what was spoken. Now, this is a little bit melodramatic, but I'm sure you rolled your eyes at saying this, but you do know that he was in a spot of trouble, and at the very least you were curious about looking into it and wondering what your old cousin got himself into on a closer look.
You bet. His luck must have finally run out.
Seems that way. But as you walk into the offices of Joseph Klein on the 2nd of March, 1895, it's about 8 months, 8 months after Arthur Blackwood was arrested for the murder of his wife. You look upon the as you go up the stairs and you come through the final office, it opens up and there's a large bay windows kind of with the red cobbled brick buildings and the smokestacks in the bay of New York kind of over the hustle and bustle of the small town in front of you. Sitting on a desk is a large box with a pair of strange brass tube that kind of extends out. You've seen a couple of these around, but you're used to seeing them a little bigger. Looks like a little record player, but has this strange wax tube that has grooves in it. in a needle that sits on it. As Klein looks up at you, he says, "Ah, I presume you're Mr. Graves."
Yep. Billy Graves. Friends call me Billy.
Oh.
They shake out like a dirty hand. I'll stretch to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand and kind of pulls his handkerchief out of his pocket and kind of wipes it clean.
I'm not really noticing, just kind of looking around at the fancy law offices, kind of thinking to myself, well, this is where old cousin Blackwood worked. Kind of giving it the eye.
I can see you're not from around here, but that's okay. You are aware of the Blackwood estate in Upper Maine, right?
Yep, indeed. Used to hear about this place growing up. Sure you've heard, like, so Blackwood, that's my kin, right?
That's like
he's
your,
my yeah.
So to you, that's your cousin on your mother's side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure enough. So, like, I'll explain. Yeah, familiar enough, I'd say. Spent my fair share up in the estate when visiting my kin. Oh, not as you could see, not as lucky as the rest as the Blackwood side of the family. Kind of make a sarcastic chuckle.
Quiet. But as you are aware, Arthur Blackwood is facing a number of charges and even the electric chair.
It's a damn shame, I say.
He has tried to reach out to me, and I am trying to negotiate a life-term sentence of prison for him, but the outlook is bleak. Klein, he reaches out and places his hand on the phonograph in front of you, and he says, I have a wax phonograph here that allows me to record conversations, and he pulls out a couple little wax cylinders. And they're rudimentary, but they helped in taking notes. But he requested that I let you listen to this.
All right. You say this is my cousin coming out of this, and I'm like kind of looking at it, like scrunching up my brow, like trying to figure out how the hell does this goddamn thing work? All right.
As the needle begins to track over the wax, and the scratches emanate, popping faintly from the phonograph, you hear from the microphone, "Cousin, please. You must help me. I can't explain it. I've never believed the stories, for they were too fantastic to be real. But the Blackwood family line is both blessed and cursed. I don't know how to explain it, but it's an entity, a genie, I don't know, lives in the cellar of the family cabin. You can command it with my ring, though. It's just I dropped it, and I think it's in the cellar. It must have fell off, and that scuffle and all the hubbub. And just please find my ring and prove to the police that the genie exists. Please, I implore you, find it, and it's the only thing that can prove my innocence. And it claps off.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a bit of a state, and I've been trying to get maybe the state to be lenient on him due to psychological trauma and whatnot, but they are adamant as the evidence.
So what do I like? So I my family's like I've heard stories and stuff about like like old tall tales of the family that my grandmother used to tell. I might say, like, does it like kind of ring any bells in terms of like any of the old family narratives and stories that were told?
As far as like
maybe specifically about genies or anything like that.
you don't know anything about genies. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like you're familiar with some stories from like lamps and like the Lost Tales of Arabia and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like that's some like far Middle Eastern
Yeah.
stuff that you've never really encountered in your life. That being said, grandmother's stories were always kind of fantastical and told about like magics and warlocks and Celts in the woods and weird entities that you don't go out in the woods to find and whatnot.
Indeed.
Which were always interesting, but and there was always the tale that like there was some magic in the family. That's kind of the reason why. Well, for the last 100 years or so, your family's, well, at least part of it, has been fairly affluent and been slowly making their way up in the industry of like the modern world. And
yeah. All right. Well, so I'll and this is Mr. Klein, is it? Right, Mr. Klein, the attorney that I'm meeting with here. Mr. Klein. Now, obviously, like he is. Even for my family, those are some tall tales. Maybe we drank a little too much of the moonshine, or he's hit his head on something fierce. But I pray and hope that you can get him like commute his sentence. I still can't imagine he'd hurt dear Rose. Given that he's kin, I'll do whatever I can to help him, whether that be
if you
help him to prove that he's out of his mind, or perhaps innocent, if that be the case. If he says there's something up at the cabin and in the not the cabin, if he says there's something at the estate, I feel like I should owe it to him to go and at least check it out. Preposterous is what he's saying, but what do I know? What do you all know, you know?
I just know that if we don't have any hard evidence that he was not the perpetrator, we're kind of up a creek without a paddle, as it were.
So let's see. So he said that there was something in the cellar, a ring in the cellar, that would allow him to command this genie who actually killed Rose. Like, what was that?
I don't understand and try to interpret the babble of the mentally ill. Unfortunately, I have no idea what they were how to interpret that. I assume it's a wedding ring, maybe?
Indeed. That's what I might presume.
I'm not sure, though.
Well, I reckon someone should head on over that way and see what perhaps is going on. Is that where the alleged murder took place now? Up at the estate?
Yes, actually. As he opens a manila folder and he pulls out a photograph and shows you in the cellar beneath the Blackwood cabin. It's hard to tell due to the sepia and the lack of light down there, but you can definitely see there is a dark patch, black patch where probably blood is soaking the gravel floor at the bottom of the ladder in the cellar.
Interesting. Kind of take a look at the photo, and mind if I hang on to this?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, we have a bit of a package for you, and he pulls out this big leather case that's probably it's a little bigger than a bowling ball.
Okay.
And he kind of slumps it over to you and sticks a pair of 3 wooden shafts that are combined by a bit of a metal bracket. And he's like, this is called a camera, and you can take photos with it. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Yeah. I think I've seen my fair share of them.
Well,
not familiar with the principles behind it, but
this one's fairly easy to operate. Just set it on the tripod and take a picture of any evidence that you procure while you're there, if it's on the property. Anything that you can bring back, of course, please feel free to keep back with you. Anything helps, I think, honestly.
Oh,
Might
I
be
reckon
one-
I have a little bit more experience with shooting of the firearms more than shooting of the photographs, but Mr. Klein, I'll do my best.
I could maybe send one of the assistants with you. They're not
The assistants.
very. Oh, I have a number of interns, up and comers who are willing to say yes to pretty much about anything. If you need an extra hand,
Might not hurt to have at least one of these interns, you say, come on along with me. Yeah, we have so how far away is the estate from New York?
it's several hours.
Yeah, so perhaps I don't think do I have a car?
I assume you might have a car, but
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty long drive, though.
that would be a
Like
pretty
for
long
this
drive.
era. Yeah. They'd probably take it like a train or something like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, perhaps then one of these interns might accompany me up to the estate, at least someone to help with the taking of the notes and the photographs and whatnot.
Okay. Oh, hey, thanks for the sub, Pretty. I appreciate that. Hey, Fickle. No, you're fine. This is all prologue. It's fine. That being said, fair enough. I believe there's a. He kind of stands up and he ushers in the secretary and whispers something into her ear. He's like, "We'll have everything arranged, and he'll meet you at the train station. Here are your tickets." He pops the photos, the tickets, and a couple other notes for you in the middle envelope.
You said he whispered. Can I kind of just may I attempt to discern if I could pick that up, like what he whispered exactly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like one of my infamous listening
Yes,
checks?
I would love a listen check from you. That'd be great.
Are they called checks in this system? What are they? Or just
they're checks.
Cool. Listen.
Pretty sure they're checks. 38. Okay. As he leans in and whispers, you hear I don't know. Give him the one that writes. The wannabe author. That's fine.
One that writes, okay.
And she nods at him and bustles off. And well, as I believe our everything is here. He hands slides the manila envelope over to you. And with any luck, you'll be able to produce the evidence, and I'll be able to at least make an argument for the man in court. If it's good enough, we can maybe even get him off of all charges, but I don't want to give anybody's hopes up.
Well, fair enough there, Mr. Klein. Well, I thank you kindly for doing what you can for my kin. I'm gonna go and take a look. I'll be hearing back from me here, and hope we can do something. Now, if pending I can't find the evidence, better start working on an insanity plea, if you catch my meaning.
We're doing our best, but without another culprit or reason, it's the genie thing is not going to hold up.
Okay, well, I guess that'll be it. Right?
Yes.
Good luck to you.
And to you, Mr. Graves. And to you. And
all right. Where's this intern?
As you bustle out, the intern has become the beast of burden, carrying the camera and the thing awkwardly. He's like, "Oh, hi.
Hey there.
They told me to pack a small bag. I, I, I don't know. This is like I'm still in my first like few weeks here. I'm still wondering what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh dear God! I'm kind of like, he stuck me with a goddamn Poindexter. All right, hey, you listen, kid. Let's. How old are you?
I'm old enough.
Hmm, old
21.
enough. All right. Well, listen. Yeah, call me Old Billy Graves. We're gonna be heading up to my cousin's estate, doing some general investigating, poking around. Listen, all I really need you to do is just take some notes. Whatever you see, I'll be able to tell you anything important. And that thing, and I point at the camera. And he's like, "Listen, you're also going to be in charge of whatever about the photographing and whatnot. You understand?"
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sounds good. I think
So how old can I discern? Like, about how old is this kid?
he's
Like 18?
he's like late teens, early 20s.
Hmm.
He just probably got out of whatever fancy school he was going to, and got his first job, and is now here talking to you.
All right. Well, kind of like I'm kind of feeling like now he's more of a burden than anything else. Like I think Billy Graves' attitude, given his backstory, is gonna be like, oh, very shut off toward the kid. I don't want to get to know him. Keep him at arm's length. Like he's just there to fucking do what I can't, and that's operate that weird techno babble.
Fair enough.
And when's our tickets? As I'll take a look out and see when we're leaving.
Um, when you got to the office, it was about noon, and the tickets are for about 1:30.
1:30. All right. Oh, we're gonna head on. It's a train ticket, right?
Yeah, it's 2 train tickets.
All right. Well, what do they call you again?
Oh, my name's Bobby.
I don't like that. That's a little too close to old Billy. No, no. All right, it's
My
gonna
name's
just be
Robert.
Kid. All right, kid, let's go.
Rob? I don't.
I don't like it either. Come on, just shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be pretty mean to the kid.
Sounds great.
Yeah. He reminds me of my sons, and I don't like it.
Wait, I don't think you have your sons yet. You're only 30.
Oh, really? This is before then? Oh, shit.
1895.
Never mind. 1895. Thank you.
I almost called you out. That's why he gave you a weird look when you said old Billy Graves, but didn't say anything.
Sorry. What? It was August. What was the day?
Today is March.
The
2nd. I want to say yes, March 2nd, 1895.
All right. Well, never mind. I still don't like him. He still represents a burden to me. I'm still gonna be mean to him, but perhaps maybe for a different reason. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But right now, I like being mean to Bobby, aka Kid.
Fair. That being said, you somberly walk, and there is a montage of awkward attempted conversation. So I'm reading some magazines and stuff, and like apparently we all like came from like little tadpoles and stuff back in like way back. And
Listen. I'm gonna need you to kind of take all that and just kind of bottle that in and just save it for somebody who understands and frankly fucking gives a hell. You understand? Shut up, kid. It's like I kind of light up a cigarette and you're carrying the bags. You understand? Tadpoles. What the fuck? I just keep marching away.
Okay. And there's a very awkward like first like hour of the train ride. He's like, do you like baseball?
Does it look like I like baseball? I'm like looking at him like
Sorry.
I'm not your conventional city person. I'm wearing leather. It looks like it was crafted by someone in like a village. Like this isn't like particularly finely made, but it gets the job done type of material.
And just to let you know that this trip, especially on like a train, on a train's a little shorter, but like it's about a 4-5 hour trip.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Indiana Jones thing and tuck my hat over my head and say, "Listen, kid, it's a long ride, and I don't know what the fuck we're gonna be looking into. So I suggest you, again, just and why don't we get some sleep?" I kind of do the Indiana Jones thing and tuck my hat over my face and take a nap.
And he pulls out the small satchel he brought with him. It's just a messenger bag, which does not have enough room for anything other than maybe a couple books and pens and nothing that's probably helpful in your mind's eye. And begins kind of just scratching some notes down. And
yeah, wake. What's it like? Whatever city we're supposed to get off in, I'll just be like, hey, and don't you nap too hard. Just wake me up when we get there.
Sure. Yes, sir. And he leads you to your nap.
I'm gonna grab another beer real quick. Be right back.
Perfect.
Like 2 seconds.
Hello, lurkers. Hello, friends. How are you doing all? I hope you're doing well. It's awesome to see you. It's awesome to be here. I'm so happy. I'm in my element again.
All right, I'm back.
Just was gushing for a second. Sorry. As you kind of wake up, you find the manila envelope that you had on you has been opened up, and Robert's kind of flipping through some things.
Was that the did I already look through that vanilla envelope, or was
you
it
saw,
only
like,
that photograph?
Pictures, and there's a couple other things you saw out of it, but you didn't look through it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think like as I'm like kind of waking up and we're pulling into the station, kind of like, all right, well, see, you got a hit on the research. What do you reckon? Anything interesting there? What's in the file?
Well, just old news article.
Old news article, eh? Is that the Daily Telegraph that's in the handouts?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of pull it up.
The basic description. What's happening? Prominent New York fraternity Arthur Blackwood was arrested yesterday, charged with murder of his wife, Rosemary. Mr. Blackwood was discovered wandering the countryside near his family vacation cabin located in Whitehall, New York. I misspoke. New York. It is reported that Mr. Blackwood was disoriented and covered in blood. On arrival, the local sheriff discovered evidence of the heinous murder of Miss Blackwood despite the disappearance of her body. When questioned about his wife's whereabouts, Mr. Blackwood was unable to respond.
Mr. Blackwood. Kind of put that down. And that's the rest, huh? Anything else?
Just this photo, blood on the floor or whatever, and
it's getting even harder to hear you, by the way. I'm sorry. Let me
Oh, I'm sorry. Try
do
to
this.
do something.
I'll turn down. Here we go. Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right.
A little better.
My mistake. I lost my boom arm, so I can't.
Oh, it's a little further away.
So
Gotcha.
now it's on my desk, and I can't replace it right now. So
Perfect. Yeah. If I think it fixes if you just if you talk into it or project a little bit, but I think it sounds a little better. Cool.
Yeah, I'll just
all right.
Angle myself towards it. That being said,
all right.
Yes, you have the newspaper, the photographs, and you actually find a money clip in there.
Money clip. How much money are we talking about here?
That's about $25.
$25.
Seems like enough to cover expenses and then some.
Yeah, get some lunch or something. We
Right.
need to. All right. Well, do I in terms of my my weapons and stuff like that? Do I got like my what do I have in terms of possessions?
Let's check your list and see what you would have. That's a good question. I would assume you wouldn't have your weapons on you. You were kind of going in to do a favor for.
Going into the city, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I'd be necessarily armed.
You might have your knife. You'd always have your knife on you.
Yeah. I never not have my
Right.
knife.
And
All right.
whatever else you might have on you, just kind of occupy your time on the trains. And
Okay, well,
transit.
so we collect our collect our things and tell the kid to keep in step. So we deboard the train. What kind of is it a busy train station? Like
It's not terribly busy. There's only a few people that get off at the stop, and not many people get on. As you the steam kind of rolls out from the engine, and you kind of move it forward off the platform. Robert makes a beeline for some guy holding a sign with Blackwood on it. And he's like, it's not Blackwood. He kind of goes over and is kind of embarrassed. It's not Blackwood. His name's Mr. Graves. And he kind of he flips it kind of over to the side and hides it. And he's like, Mr. Graves, they arranged, the company arranged for some transport, apparently. It's lucky. Makes it a little easier to get out there.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think I've ever had me a chauffeur before. Even regardless if you had the wrong name, I give the man a wink and let's head on out.
Grimaces. Yes, absolutely. He kind of mutters something into the kid's ear before progressing to the car and motioning you to follow.
Oh yeah, and of course I'm gonna try to listen. I like keeping an ear out, even especially when people are whispering.
Success, hard success, nice. You hear him say, "This fucking hillbilly motherfucker, really?" He's like, "You guys," he's like, I don't know, man."
Yeah, well,
motion's on.
I'll ignore the slight because I feel like I'm used to it. I'm used to people judging me at this point in my life. And I think it's more of a it's I'm one of those people that I'm okay with people thinking less of me because that means they'll underestimate me kind of man.
There you go. Yeah, it's your edge. It's your subtle edge.
Yep.
But as you kind of head over to the vehicle, he kind of, you see him uncomfortably shift as he opens up the door and looks inside to his inside the car. And as you look in, you understand exactly why.
It's a nice car.
Leather interior. It's perfectly clean on the bottom. And you may have knocked off quite a bit of that dirt, but there's always
not
more
all
dirt.
of it. Yeah,
there's always more dirt.
It's because if you're going to be a successful hunter, you got to have just a little bit of layer of it just covering your body at all times. And if you wash it away, it takes weeks to build back up. Weeks.
Right. You only wash after hunting season.
Yeah, I don't want to be smelling like no city when I get back to work, if you understand.
Right. So he kind of sighs as you sit down, just shakes his head, and you hear his soul get crushed a little bit as he enters the front.
I think Billy Graves would get a little bit of a kick out of his misery, a little bit, knowing that, that I heard him before, and I know where I come from. I know I'm not from the city. I get a little kick of satisfaction knowing that I'm stinking up his fucking fancy ass city man car.
So, as you roll out in the kind of montage through frost
nice
and
drive.
trees and rolling
Hey,
hills of New England.
mind if I smoke in here? I call up to the driver.
And just roll down the window.
I'll roll down the window. Roll a quick little cigarette for myself. Some like rough tobacco.
As
Maybe
you
a
roll
little
down the
old.
window, that brisk air from the New England air kind of hits you, and kind of from after being in the basically smog of the city, it's nice, sharp.
I like it.
Return home almost. Not quite. It's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, a little different, but
It's a little bit
I
more.
like it a hell of a lot better than them city streets.
But as you roll through the countryside, the trees flipping by, and Robert kind of shifts unsteadily, uneasily, trying to get comfortable with the camera kind of jetting out over his shoulder on the side of the jetting out the window.
Yeah.
Because there's no room in the trunk. And there's just the scratches of his quills and the little hum of the engine as you bustle along.
Yeah.
The driver
That's
says,
J for a drive.
Driver says, we'll probably get there just at sunset. Should be enough. There's a couple lanterns in the back you can take. It's mostly a dirt road on the way up there. Can't take the car up that far.
All right. Fair enough.
And as,
Thank you for getting us as far as you can, sir.
Absolutely. And as you kind of putter off into the kind of cobbled road, turns into a gravel road, and that gravel road turns into just a dirt road with ruts, and that eventually just stops, and it's just a spreading of a small clearing of trees with a small footpath that leads.
This is I look kind of like I open the car door and take a look around, breathe in the air. I've been here before, haven't I?
You have been here, but it's been years. It's more
Yeah.
like a weird
Been a long
daydream
time.
that you of a memory than the actual.
Kind of take a note of the things that have changed. I like, hey, I think I remember when that tree was a lot smaller. That kind of thing.
There's a couple fence posts that have been rotted down, and kind of the wires kind of holding them up as they are rotted out. The old granite stones and the trees still loom over in a familiar way.
Yeah.
But there's definitely
different but the same.
Right.
Well. And about how far do I remember the main estate being from this location, the road here?
It's about a 10-minute, 15-minute walk. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Well, kind of nodded the driver. Kid, hurry up! I imagine he's fucking around with all the equipment.
Yeah, he's just trying to get out the. He's trying to. He's wedged the legs in the door, and he's trying to figure out how to undo it because he's opened the door too soon, and he's just
God
having
damn it,
trouble.
kid! I kind of I go and help him. I help get him out of there.
I got it. Thanks, and you just close the door and just make it easy.
Yeah.
The driver, he's like, you're gonna be a little bit, right? I can have time to go, maybe get some dinner, right?
Yeah. I reckon it'll be a few hours.
Okay.
Kind of take a note of the sun's position in the sky. What time is it?
It's March, so the sun goes down around 7, but it's around 5:30 now.
All right.
You'll be able to make it out there and do a little bit of low light with the lanterns. It is your it is your family's cabin, so worst case scenario, you can stay out there.
Yeah. Well,
the driver kind of goes on. He's like, "Well, I'll come back out here and a little after sunset."
I think that'll work.
If you're not out here, though, I assume you'll probably be just staying the night, whatever. I'll come back in the morning.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Thanks for the ride. Miss you. Very nice car. Take a spit and
Hit the hubcap.
yeah. I'm not trying to spit on his car, but like I'm trying to wind him up a little bit, knowing that like I set him off a little earlier. I'm just like, just winding him up a little bit, just kind of laughing at how city folks squirm at such like, natural things.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
And he hops in the car. It bubbles off. The walk there is pretty just straight out of a dream. You remember everything, but it's that you were also about a third the height of yourself, so everything's now smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still the same. It's that weird surrealism as you kind of walk through. To Robert, he's just kind of like following you along. It's like, so, how long has this cabin been in your family?
Listen. This comes from the other side of the family, but it's, I believe, several generations, if I'm not mistaken, right? DM?
It's it's been about, I think they made it in 1717.
Yeah. It's about 1717. Quite a long time. Long time.
Okay. Wow. It's interesting. It's like, and this is like, I can't even imagine like owning property out here.
Yeah, well, neither can I, because it's not my land, it's Kim's land. Visited from time to time when I was a youngin', running around, scamping about with the cousins. Old Arthur. Him and I used to get in all kinds of trouble around here, but god damn it, did he get away with it, and I didn't. I kind of catch myself kind of waxing a little poetic to this kid, like, listen, what I tell you now about talking, let's get on up here and take a look at what we're fucking here to do. God damn it.
Okay. Sorry. As you kind of trail on for another 15 minutes of just the dead branches kind of cracking and crunching underneath your feet, and there's still a little bit of scattered snow that's kind of drifting around. It's not like fresh snow. It's some of it's icy and melted into the ground. The others, bits of it has like shaved off over the wind and kind of scatter across in a ripple effect across the ground in front of you and around you.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of make your way into and finally the trees start to break up and loosen, and you open into a clearing. There's the familiar two trees and the cabin with a couple little flower beds running up to it that really hasn't changed much since you were young. It's still the same exact picturesque thing that sits in the recesses of your memory.
Kind of nod to myself, taking a note of things. It's a little melancholy, a little like, oh wow, kind of reminded me about how much time has passed since, days were simpler.
Right. And as you kind of approach, the Blackwood cabin is, for those who don't know, is about a small one-story house. As you kind of approach the door, and the key is produced from the middle envelope, and you open it, push the door open. Despite being dusty, the cabin is immaculate. There's a large parlor that you're walking into with a small kitchen off over to the side with a stove with a pipe that goes up through the ceiling. Off to the side, there's two bedrooms that are just small and neat and orderly and have their faces all in place. other than the light layer of dust and a couple odd footprints, the place is clean, neat, and orderly.
I think maybe like I kind of like my character's looking around, and I remember a time when like Arthur and I were kids, and like, we were stealing food from the kitchen, and he somehow managed to get away, and I got caught.
And as the ghosts of your nostalgia kind of run over the cabin, you kind of hear the wind kind of blow the door open a little bit as it creaks and pushes against the wall. Robert kind of with a thump, he lets the camera down and puts it into the corner.
Kind of the thump brings me back, like, kind of to the present, and reminds me that allegedly something like this is like there's this dichotomy between like my nostalgic feeling for the area, but also with this like kind of weird sense of like something allegedly awful happened here. A murder, essentially, right? Like. Right. He's accused of murdering her. Is it in the building? Do I know exactly, or
the photo was of the cellar?
Of the cellar. So I know, like, still. So like, this is like it's a strange kind of like I'm getting a lot of different feelings. While like so first it was nostalgia, and now it's like, oh yeah, but like that some shit really happened here.
Dread,
yeah, that's emptiness maybe. So there's no one else living here now, correct?
Nope, it's an empty house.
So, like, yeah, I think maybe my memory of it is...
You do know it was a summer home before. But...
Yeah, okay. So my memories would have been, like, meeting family here during the summer. And it's kind of its emptiness kind of... Yeah, also reminds me that something, really weird happened here, and it's not the same place anymore. Right. So the first thing I'd like to do is... Okay, so we said... So remind me, the recording... from Arthur said that I need to get down into, like, so I'm innocent, they'll never believe me. Remind me what he said about the genie?
An entity or something about a genie.
Oh, an entity. Okay, or a genie. Okay. That gave wishes of some kind?
That was bound by a ring.
Bound by a ring.
And
it's in the cellar.
And that needs to be found. And that was a less jarring rendition of kind of what you heard.
All right. In the envelope, is there like any kind of police report or anything detailing like where the body or anything like that was found? Like,
no police report, but there is the newspaper article.
Yeah, the newspaper. That didn't really have any exact details of the spot, though, did it? Let's see.
Covered in blood. No. The only thing that leads to where it happened is that picture of the blood stain in the cellar.
And that's in the cellar. Okay. Well then.
And as you look around, there's like you remember there being a trap door somewhere.
Okay.
But you don't exactly remember where.
So I know there's a trap door, but Arthur was a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
So lawyers, they're I would imagine people who are taken, people of detail. Before I go looking for the cellar, I'd like to see if I could find a place where Arthur might use as a study or office, seeing if I could find any kind of noting or accounting.
Okay.
Of yeah, I just kind of want to see if I could find like a study, really, like first and foremost.
As you kind of look around, there's nothing with like a desk or any.
Yeah, this is more. You said it's a summer home. Okay,
right.
Yeah,
it's
that's
got
right.
The two
that's
bedrooms,
right. Okay.
It's got the parlor with like a small bar with some half-empty bottles of alcohol, and a pantry that has just maybe some dried foods in it that are a little stale, but
all right,
some canned stuff, but nothing perishable.
So, like I look over to Bobby.
Arthur's house is in like New York proper.
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah, I imagine looking over to Bobby and he's like still got all that shit in his hands, and I'd be like,
oh, he's like started to like put it down in the corner. And he's just kind of like, can I sit down?
Yeah, take a moment, kid. I'm gonna look around a little bit.
All right.
I'm gonna see if I could locate the trap door while he's just kind of taking a load off.
as you kind of look around, go ahead and roll me a spot hidden.
Ooh, gain a bonus die to spot hidden because of my keen hunter vision.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Spot hidden. Blam. 69. Nice.
Beautiful. So.
Oh, the 69 redemption's gone. I was gonna do it.
I'm like, should I leave this on? No, I don't want that. Just
yeah. Fair enough.
But yes. So as you kind of look around, you do notice that there's a rug that's just a throw rug that wasn't here before, and you just kind of like you step on it and it's hollow thud.
Okay.
Whip it up, a little bit of dust cascades and puffs into the air, and a trapdoor with a metal ring sits.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give it a good lift. Open it up.
It swings back and slams on the floor behind it with a loud thud. You hear Robert go in the corner, and then he just kind of like, if you look at him, he just like mouses behind his journal. That wasn't.
Yeah. Well. So, get that open. Before going downstairs, I want to see if I could spot, like, is there any kind of struggle upstairs? Anything that would like indicate like there was like any kind of, foul play or like violence? Any shattered, broken furniture, that kind of thing.
Everything seems more or less in place. It looks like a couple things were maybe shunted out of the way during by maybe the investigation.
Okay.
Cops. Things are like, some of the chairs are a little out of place, but nothing's like thrown over. Nothing's like, there's no holes in walls. There's no broken furniture. No shards, even like tiny shards of glass. Nothing. It's just
all right. Well,
nothing up here, at least. I mean, there's just and as you look, just as the amber sun kind of is illuminating the west windows through the trees, there's just kind of like a warm glow in the cabin that's slowly fading away. Robert lifts up one of the lanterns and sparks it up. Turns it up the flame and hangs it up in the corner.
Well,
he lights a second one and hands it to you.
I reckon we should probably go on down and see what we find. We should grab the camera. Let's head on down.
Sure. He kind of flips his boat clothes, stands up, and goes and starts bustling with the legs and the camera.
All right. While he's doing that, I just go ahead and hold up the lantern and walk down into the cellar.
The cellar has a ladder that
climb down.
Yeah. So, because of the trapdoor.
Yeah.
So you kind of mount the ladder, you hold the lantern in one hand and kind of go down a little bit, jostled, but down with one hand, down the ladder. As you tung off the metal ladder, kind of echoes into the small, musty basement. You land with a soft crunch. As you look around, do a quick scan of the area. There is shelves all around the walls with all sorts of knickknacks and baubles. Large cobwebs.
Probably like fucked around down here. Probably mess around as a kid. Kids down in the cellar, right?
Yeah, there was always something creepy about it. You know that Arthur didn't like it.
Am I gonna do? Is that the map that's on stream? Is that going to be something I see on Roll20?
It should be.
I'm still seeing the
Oh,
New York.
My bad. There we go.
Dope. All right. Okay. So sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. As you kind of crunch down into the gravel down here, you take note of just all the knickknacks, baubles. It looks like most of the storage and random things, toys, tools, old keepsakes, all kind of cluttered in thick layers of dust down here. One thing, as you kind of take a step or two over, and I think, I didn't give you that control of that, did I?
I can move myself if
Okay,
that's what you're wondering.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as you kind of crunch around and look around the actual full basement, there's a couple things you might notice. First off, as you take your first step off the ladder, the final rung kind of has like a half step down. It kind of almost makes you stumble. It throws you
Like
off
I
a
miss it
little
almost and then land. Yeah.
bit. Yeah. And it was like, it's not that there's a rung missing, it's that the floor is like before the next one.
It's a little lower than it used to be.
Yeah. So it's like,
Huh.
so the ladder seems like it descends below this
Yeah.
gravel-esque. The other thing that you, as a perceptive, keen eye, that photo, like you look around the basement for another ladder, and there's not another ladder. And as you look down, you should have stepped in that blood as you came down here. And
Really?
Boots are clean, and so is the gravel below.
There's no gravel.
There's
the walls
gravel.
are clear of blood.
There's no blood, though.
Whoa. Okay. Huh. So I'm gonna call up to Bobby.
Bobby's like at the top of the ladder.
Hey, kid.
Yeah.
Hand me that envelope with hand me the pic. Oh wait, I think I took the picture out. I think I have the picture.
You have the picture.
Yeah. So I want to take out that picture.
As you
So, go ahead.
did you have something else?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, so the differences are, one, there's blood in the photo, there's no blood here. And the other one was that there was a ladder there's a ladder, but there's no ladder in the photo.
There is a ladder in the photo.
There is a ladder in the photo. What was missing from the photo?
Nothing else from the photo. It was just a small detail about the gravel sitting high on the ladder.
Okay.
More to the ladder than like the gravel kind of like fills up the bottom of the basement.
Oh, so as if there has been more added.
Yeah. Maybe not more added, but you're definitely not on the base floor.
Yeah.
And maybe that's for drainage.
Yeah, but that's still a little weird.
That would also be
okay.
impossible to clean up.
Yeah.
The big part of that. So there should be some blood on here.
Yeah.
And as you're just kind of like maybe dragging your foot across, just no blood.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Huh. Can I see if is there like any kind of like, do I see any like tools in here? Like, is there like an old shovel or pickaxe or?
Go ahead and spot hidden.
Cool.
Okay, 41. Pretty damn good. Do you want to spend 2 luck to make that a hard success?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
So go ahead and just reduce your luck by 2.
Okay.
And that will
Boom.
be a hard success. You spot in various locations. You spot a in the kind of sorry. Had my things on 2 different things.
No worries.
Old wooden box. You spot an old wooden box here on this shelf. You also spot a shovel, a bat, what else? A hoe. Not that kind of hoe. And a hammer. Which is
I roll to do. I would like to roll to seduce the hoe, please.
Yes, absolutely. As you try, you step on it and it whacks you.
Ah! Not again!
No! Foiled again. There's also a heavy wrench, dagger, randomly, and a trowel.
All right.
So
well,
you spot a number of things. You spot a lot.
So,
of things in here.
so I'd like to take like something that I could use, either a shovel or pickaxe or something. I'd like to kind of like dig a little bit in the gravel, at like where the blood should be.
Okay. As you probably grab the hoe, messing around with that hoe.
Yeah, always.
As you're kind of digging a little bit and pulling a little bit away from the ladder and stuff, and just kind of investigating the area. Go ahead and give me your luck roll.
A luck roll?
Yes.
Cool.
It's okay. You kind of ping off the ladder a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And as you're digging, you end up finding the bottom, and it's just a solid cement slab, maybe even sheetrock. But
no blood.
No blood in any of it.
So I want to call out to the kid. Hey, why don't you get down here, take some pictures of the area, especially where the photograph that was taken before, where all that blood was.
Okay.
Can't find any of it. Dug down a little bit because the floor seemed a little off.
As he comes down with his other lantern, go ahead and roll me a spot hidden. As you kind of take a step back and you're holding up the lantern to kind of get a better look, his shadow kind of moves from his lantern and he whirls around, and right in that spot there's a large looking piece of gravel that's smooth and yellow.
A piece of yellow smooth gravel?
As you kind of look over, you actually recognize it as not being gravel. Go ahead and give me... Do you have first aid? Whatever's highest. First aid, medicine, or biology?
I believe it's gonna be... Where's biology? I don't see biology on my list.
It's science, but if you don't have it...
Oh, science. Okay. No. Alright, so it's gonna be first aid.
First aid?
Yeah. Is this a place where I could push it?
You could, but I would actually just give you...
Yeah.
What's your no? No is a intelligence roll.
No intelligence.
What is your intelligence?
Oh, my intelligence in general is... Where is it? Education? I don't see... Oh, intelligence 65.
Give me a hard intelligence roll in lieu of the other one. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, weird.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
you don't recognize it right away.
All right. Well, I do know that it looks different, and I'll go and I'll pick it up. Or like, what I'll do is I'll go over to it and hold my lantern right over where, like, hold, go and see if I could like just hold my lantern right by it and like get a good look at it.
Robert takes a look at it and like flips it in a way, and he's like, "Is that?" He's holding it like this. He's like,
"Oh, you picked it up?"
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, "Is that skin? I don't... And he drops it.
Is it? What did it feel like?
Tacky? And... I don't know. Kind of...
Ugh.
like old molasses.
Huh. It's like, what the hell is that? I've never seen anything like that in my life.
As you kind of
Skin?
continue digging,
No.
a couple more pieces of this come up, and you
What?
actually...
More pieces of it?
Yeah, and
Are they balls or chunks? Like
chunks. They're not
Oh.
fleshy, but it's bone. As you unearth a bit of skull,
Oh!
you realize that
Oh!
it may not be gravel.
No! Oh, what? What is it?
You
What
look
the
at
fuck?
it, and it just looks like a gnarled peat skull. It looks like it's been... There's scratches deep in, like...
It's
grooving
like
into
something buried there?
It was in the mix of the gravel, yes.
Oh.
But go ahead and give me a natural... You have a natural world, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a natural world.
Fuck.
I think that would
What's
translate
going
over
on
here.
in this place? Natural
It should be in the
world.
center. There you go. 99.
Well,
yeah.
god damn.
The roll's just not working for you.
Not indeed. Indeed it is not.
I will imagine that... Yeah, no, actually. Go ahead and roll me a sanity check.
Is that as close as I can get to a natural one?
No, 100 is a natural one.
That's like it's like one away, like 1% away
Yeah.
from the worst.
If you were shooting a gun, it would totally backfire.
Yikes. Okay, a sanity roll.
Sanity roll. So this is the
sanity.
first, as you realize, kind of
Bouts of madness or current mental condition. There's buttons. Oh, here it is.
there's
Sanity green.
Yeah, the green.
Okay.
One on the right. Beautiful. You pass your sanity roll. You'll take 1 loss of sanity for realizing that this is a human skull.
69.
You don't know what the fuck happened to it.
So I have 70 right now, and I go to 69.
Yeah,
Nice.
Nice. But so yeah,
Right.
as you realize this, Robert like immediately starts like, I forgot something upstairs, and just begins climbing up the ladder. I don't know.
Wait, what does he say? I'm sorry.
I
forgot something upstairs?
Yes.
Because he's like all freaked out.
You can roll psychology to see if he is. You don't know why. He's
Alright.
probably afraid he's freaked out. You and I both know. But
Yeah.
Billy
Alright,
doesn't.
well. So this is a fucking skull. Have I met Rose? I was at their wedding.
yes.
It's not Rose, is it?
You already rolled. Well, hold on.
I guess all I know it's a fucking skull, but like whether I recognize it or not, like I know someone died in this exact spot.
Yeah.
Oh no. So
What does Billy do?
I'm gonna be like, boom, I'm pretty fucking like upset. But I've seen like dead animals before and shit like that, right? So like
Oh, yeah.
even though like homie up there is like fucking running away, I passed my sanity roll, so like I'm gonna stay down there
Okay.
because I came here to figure out what the fuck is going on, and this doesn't really tell me anything new except for there's a body here. Why didn't the police find this thing? All right, I tell the kid like, look, I've been hard on the kid, but he didn't ask for any of this, and I'm gonna just be like, no, listen, kid, pass me down that camera. Tell me what button I need to press in order to. capture
The
this.
camera's right there, and he points into the corner. But here's the legs, and he just kind of like shakily hands them down to you.
All right.
Should I go get help?
Nah, kid. We'll get some help here soon, but I think this isn't a. Only thing surprising to me here is that they didn't find this body before.
Well, to be fair, you almost like walked right over it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, okay.
Certainly is true. Well,
I'm right here
listen.
if you need me. I'll hold the lantern and yeah.
I'll nod. All right. So, Ho isn't like I want to be respectful of what is likely. I could only guess the body of my cousin-in-law. Is that how that works? Is that what that would be?
I think so.
Like I was at their wedding. These are kin.
So
am I able to determine, like, at least are they buried, like, top to bottom? Are they laying down? Like, is this, like, a piece of a skull that's, like...
begin to kind of, like, you found some gloves, some leather gloves, and you're kind of, like, moving these around.
Yeah,
There isn't a skeleton or a full-on body here.
What? So it's
There's bits of skeleton, and the biggest part you can find is this half-mutilated skull. And you can see deep scratched grooves, and the skull itself is cracked.
I could see what? Okay, so the skull is cracked, and I could see deep grooves. So I'm gonna call up to, hey kid, need you to take a couple notes.
He already has his notebook out.
Yeah. This isn't just a body, this is viscera. Whatever happened. And I kind of like take like a moment, like I'm about to say, whatever happened to Rose. Her remains are broken and busted, cracked. Her skull has deep grooves in it, as if she was smashed. Something scratching or carving and I kind of like think about the animals that I've seen in my life. Would I say maybe bitten?
If you compare it to animals, like animal attacks and stuff like that, the closest you can chop it up to is maybe a bear, but even bears stop once you're dead. They don't.
So, sorry, the mic cut out for just a second there.
The best you can think of as far as animal attacks would be maybe a bear attack.
Yeah. But still, like, nothing like this. Like, yeah. They wouldn't eviscerate something like this. Like, even a bear leaves some kind of remains for the crows.
Right.
Something terrible happened here. Terrible. I look around like, what could have caused this? What? I don't know any kind of creature that is capable of such.
As you kind of ponder this, you recall that you saw a wooden box with that probably contains like a small little chest.
Box?
Yeah,
that contains a chest? Okay.
Oh, a chest or a box. But yes, an old wooden box. And there's a collection of books as well that you haven't really gone through.
So I scratch my head and take note of the location of those things, and first and foremost, make sure to take a photograph of the gruesome remains that I've discovered.
Just pull that. Yeah, just set it up on the tripod right there. Okay, cool. And then you just make sure that you hold the lantern up. Get some good lighting
and
on it.
I hold the lantern upside down. Yeah.
And then just pull the lever.
Lever. All right.
No,
the switch. You say switch, and I'm looking around for a button. Like,
It's a little,
what?
It's like a pole chain.
A pull chain, a switch? What? Oh, God, Sam Hill. And then I
That
like
little
stumble
dangly
upon it.
thing.
Oh, all right, all
There
right.
And the bulb flashes, pops,
What the fuck?
lighting up everything in a flash, eliminating all the shadows from the room for a split second. And after that moment, picture's presumably taken. Hopefully it's not overexposed.
Here I set the camera down. Say, all right. Well, we got a little bit of that. That I don't know how any man could have done this. Anybody, anyone. Never seen anything like this. I'm kind of muttering to myself. Now, the other thing I'm here for, and I kind of think to myself of remembering the recorded pleas of Arthur, that maybe he might be innocent. Like, if he would have killed her, like, he wouldn't have done anything like this. I remember the ring, and I think, where could a ring be? And I remember the box, the chest in the box.
As you
I'm gonna go over and investigate that.
Okay. As you pull off the box and wipe off the dust and creak it open, you find on the top a small painting. It's depicting
Small painting?
Yes. It's about 18 by 12, so not very big. And it's of a stern-looking Puritan man with an ostentatious black jeweled ring on one of his fingers. You actually recognize this as Arthur's ring.
Oh. A black jeweled ring, you say?
Yes.
Alright.
On the back of the painting, as you flip it over,
Uh-huh.
it's written, Wizard Milton Blackwood.
Milton Blackwood. Wizard. Is that Daddy? Is that Uncle Milton?
No, this is a painting from like the 1700s.
So maybe great.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah, way back.
Great.
Wizard
Father.
Milton Blackwood. Say wizard. Call up. Hey kid.
As you kind of like flip it back over, and kind of just gaze at the picture a little bit.
Yeah.
You go to turn your head to talk to the kid, and maybe it's a trick of the light and a lantern, but there's something funny about that.
About the kid?
No.
Oh, about the painting.
Yeah.
What's it doing?
As you look back and you're like, what? Was that just a trick of the light? The eyes went from left to right.
No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. The fucking painting of Milton Blackwood's looking fucking round.
The eyes seem to be following you, and it's a little unnerving.
Shit, I dropped the painting like, what?
Go ahead and roll me a sanity roll. Just a moment. It was just a moment. It's over, right? Can't hurt you. It's just a painting. Things are weird. Perceptions are weird.
I just it must have been a trick of the imagination. I just saw something horrific. I could not have possibly seen what I thought I just saw.
No way.
Is it cool if we take like a quick 2 or 3 minutes so I could run to the bathroom and grab some water and stuff?
We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Just make
Hell
sure we
yeah.
can take care of all our bio needs. I will be back.
Oh,
in
this is
just a few
cool.
minutes. I'm glad
This
you
is
like
so
it.
fun. This is rad. Thank you
I'll
so
play,
much.
I'll leave you with some tunes, and we'll all see you soon.
Cool. All right, see you soon.
We are returning here with our continuation of what's in the cellar. From
I don't
Cables
like
to
it.
Terror. You don't like it? I'm
Creepy
loving it.
chunks, and I don't like chunks as an adjective already. Chunks is both an adjective and a noun.
Yes. I use it in mostly the noun.
Chunky.
Chunky.
Ugh.
What kind of skulls
like-
are we having today? Chunky.
Chunky. Gross. All right.
It reminds me of the Mummy, right? It's like I didn't expect it to be so juicy.
Juicy. Ugh. Okay. So I dropped the painting.
Drop the painting.
I'm
Everything okay then, Billy?
kind of look up a little bit. Yeah. I thought I saw something. Don't worry about it. And I kind of take another look at the painting again. And is it moving? Was I crazy?
It is as if the man is just looking straight into your soul. It does not stop when you look at it.
It's still like, so it follows me.
Mm-hmm.
I put it away.
Fair.
Fold it up. Or not fold it up, it's a painting. Like, so is it like in a frame? Like, is it like, how big of a painting is it?
It's just the it looks like it's been cut out of the frame so it could fit in.
Okay, so it's like the print.
Yeah, kind of.
Could I, like, roll it up?
Yep.
And I want to make sure it's rolling up so the paint is facing in.
Absolutely.
I don't like it looking at me.
No, we don't like people who stare.
No.
It's weird.
So I roll that up. Is there anything else in the box?
Underneath that is a handwritten journal, bound in leather.
A handwritten journal bound in leather.
Mm-hmm. As you open it up to the first page, it's dated 1725.
1725.
As you
the painting of Wizard Milton Blackwood, did that have a year on it or just a name?
just a name.
I'd like to scan the next page, particularly toward like the end of it without like kind of reading the contents. I want to see if it's signed by anyone. Like, is this Milton Blackwood's journal or diary of some kind, or what?
As you flip the page, you find that
Yeah.
yes, it's Milton Blackwood. And as you kind of cursorily glance and flip through the pages, you end up finding a section that describes a pact the warlock made with a quote entity not of this earth. Beyond the veil is also mentioned.
Like, kind of like, so I imagine I'm like flipping through and I'm like, packed entities beyond this earth. Like, the concept of this, so what, it's like, what, you said it's 1895, so we haven't even, like, planes haven't even been made. When was the Wright brothers, right? It's like
Wright Brothers is 1911.
Yeah, so, like, these are, like, entities not of this earth. Like, these are concepts that are strange, very strange. Already, like, we got... The only wizards that I probably know of would be that of an unsortly type, from the south. But this is beyond. And I'm kind of thumbing through the Blackwoods. Entities, warlocks, pacts, bargains. I'm getting pretty spooked.
The page in question is here. So the bond is set.
Oh.
The accord sealed in blood. Wealth and good fortune shall ever flow through the Blackwood bloodline. The price is Christian blood that has been defiled through Sabbat rites.
Oh, what?
That's been
Do I
handed
know
out
what
to you, so-
Sabbat rites are? Like, is that like
that
Sabbat,
like
like
Sab-
sabbatical or Sabbath?
Yeah, I think you can make that extrapolation. That's pretty simple. Sabbath.
Like, I'd imagine like most people
Sabbat is
in my day,
more.
I would be
Sabbat is
rather like I'd be
sacred,
Christian.
whereas Sabbat
Yeah.
is Sabbat is like a sacred day.
Hmm.
The Sabbat is the witch's hour, if you would. The devil's hour.
The Blackwoods. Kind of like shit. This is some fucked up madness here, but kind of think to myself like a little like even though like most of my experience and reason is all doubtful, but now suddenly there's like after especially seeing this weird painting and now reading this and thinking back to how fucking lucky them Blackwoods always used to seem. There's like this little voice in like maybe echoing to me that like maybe. So I shut the journal.
And,
Look back up.
As you shut the journal, you find a scrap of paper underneath.
What's it say?
As you receive this lovely handout that your GM is about to give you. You unfold it and unfurl it, and reading the kind of bleached and fragile paper, you say, it reads, "Unto the very ground I have bound the daemon to the Blackwood bloodline. As long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped, and its gift of good fortune will remain untainted. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass from heir to heir on the deathbed. Never let the creature out, for its hate is unbounded, and it desires to see the extinction of the Blackwood name."
Oh. Woof.
A couple things you pull from that as like major things. Well, obviously the ring is bound.
You said Damon, like Dae.
Yeah. The ring on the Blackwood has to be on a Blackwood's finger in order for it to be bound, and it's sealed into the floor. If you understand that right.
Sealed into the what? What? Huh?
Sealed into the floor. We'll double check
Sealed
the proper what it said exactly. It will remain.
Thought it was remained sealed to. Let's see.
Where's the ring?
Scrap
The
of
creature will remain
paper.
trapped and give a good fortune. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass. Onto the very ground I have bound the daemon.
Bound the daemon to the black. Onto the very ground. I thought he was bound to the ring, but as long as someone wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped. So wait a second. So he said he lost the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Creature. If he's not wearing the ring, as long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped. Do I discern, like, does that mean that if this whole hogwash is true, that whatever creature that they are talking about is no longer trapped?
Seems like a reasonable conclusion to what you've experienced.
Now I think about the anger that it mentions. And I think, perhaps then if this surmise it's saying it's true, Suppose it's saying it's true. Creature did come out, be untethered. The ring lost from its heir, then perhaps it would wreak its vengeance on... I look down at the chunk. Rose. Distraught. Cousin Arthur comes walking in, sees the grisly sight, becomes mad or destitute, disassociated. The death of his loved one. If that's the case, then suppose saying that all this is, in fact, the truth.
As you say this, like, Robert has fully adopted his role of shutting up and writing things down, scribbling away furiously.
Yeah, I'm just kind of talking aloud, yeah. And I kind of realize, I'm talking myself through it again, like I kind of tend to do sometimes while out in the hunt, accustomed to being by myself and lonesome.
Naturally.
I look up and I say, stop writing.
What?
I said, stop writing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I imagine like we're having this conversation. Oh, this is so cool. I'm like envisioning this shot between him standing up in the light and me standing down in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit of light's coming down on me and still shadowed.
The two lanterns are
torch,
kind of on
yeah.
the side, illuminating the
and I say, listen here, son. Whatever we find here, I'm not entirely certain if we should ever tell anyone of it. This is some darkness. This is... Just stop writing for half a second.
Okay.
What else is in the box?
The box is empty, but next to it, or actually, the next item of interest that was kind of in your brain was you saw a scrapbook, or pile of scrapbooks.
I look around, like, I'm freaked the fuck out. Like, this is some weird, like, I wouldn't imagine Billy Graves as a devout Christian, but he also, like most people of his days, this was accustomed to his societal conditioning, which is, you read a lot of the Bible, and some things are just a given that there's some evil out there and some evil spirits, and this is... So, I'm gonna take the scrapbook. I want to get out of here. Like, when I look down at it, like maybe in my hand is the painting.
Okay. You've been a little preoccupied.
Go
ahead and just make me a spot hidden check.
Okay. Jesus fuck, this is freaky. Spot hidden.
As you kind of look down and look over, you realize that you might have unearthed a piece of, it looks like a black rock. Well, it's kind of small. It's a black speck that kind of just catches the lantern light.
Yeah. Little I would imagine the rest of the gravel is kind of gray toned, and suddenly like an odd, really extra dark spot might kind of stick out to the eye.
But it's catching the light.
I'll crouch down.
A little bit, unlike.
I'll kind of I'll stop and wave my torch or the lantern back. forth and kind of see if, locate it and
Catch it.
crouch down and hold the lantern up to it before I go touching it.
You see a metal ring pulling from the back of it as the familiar now Blackwood ring sits just below embedded in a little bit of a hill of rock that you had kind of displaced from your digging.
Take a couple deep breaths, recognizing the object of significance that lies before me, and I'm pretty apprehensive about laying hands upon it. Already considering the dark dealings detailed in the journals. Do I have a handkerchief?
As you pull out your handkerchief, you notice that there's a bite in the back of your throat almost, and your lungs feel a little bit kind of, I don't know, overburdened a little, as the cold, chill air kind of suddenly comes in, and the temperature drops significantly. The handkerchief.
Could I so this? I don't think I'd ever experienced anything like the only kind of sudden temperature shift like this I'd have experienced would have been outdoors in the conditions of like a sudden blizzard.
Right. And
could I
usually-
do some? Yeah, this is. Yeah. Now, could I do a check on that, like the natural
can.
world check?
Are you doing
Okay.
this as you grab the object or before?
I'm
just curious.
gonna do it as I grab the object. Like I'm generally when there's a sudden change in the conditions that one finds themselves in as a hunter, I would know that that's a bad. That means something unknown has happened, and the unknown is a threat to the survival of man. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. What was it? What check? A natural world.
Yes. Shit.
Cold.
As far as like, I would say you don't know why it's happening.
Yeah.
But you know it's not.
I'm just like,
natural.
yeah, this is weird.
You have no. There might be a reason.
Yeah, maybe I'm chalking. Maybe like role play wise, I'm chalking it up to just the freaky shit I've seen.
Yeah,
I'm
just
just like,
getting a shiver.
maybe I'm just getting a shiver.
Right.
As I pick up, I will use a handkerchief and pick up the ring and slide it into my jacket pocket. I think I want to get the fuck out of here. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna grab this. I grab the scrapbook and the journal and the painting.
As you go back and you go back over to the corner to grab those things, you turn around and say, "Is everything okay? Really?"
Listen, I think we should kind of get the fuck out of here.
I mean, do we have everything we need?
I say, listen.
I won't.
I think we have enough. I think we have a fucking enough. As I go to grab the scrapbook and everything. Why don't you grab our things? We'll wait. We'll wait somewhere else. We'll wait down for the driver.
Okay. He starts climbing down a ladder to go grab the.
Hey, kid. You stay up there. I'll grab the shit.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and hand him. I'll hand him instead of packing it up down here, I want to hand him up the pieces. Like, I don't want this kid coming down here.
Fair enough. As you hand up the legs, and he takes them, and various items, I won't even make you roll a spot hidden.
Yeah.
You notice your breath is now fogging up. And as you look above, it's almost like that breath's coalescing, but you're one person.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, there's this silvery mist collecting on the ceiling.
On the ceiling?
Yes. This is also a cellar.
I'm gonna fucking...
This is also a small cellar, so it's right around.
Yeah. Do I have a chance to do something, or do you? Is there something already happening?
You can. This is what's happening. Do you have a reaction?
Okay. I mean, so at this point, what has been moved upward? Like, what is still down here?
We'll say that the camera's up there.
Uh-huh. So we have a picture.
You have the box.
Mm-hmm.
And you're about to hand up the scrapbook. And this is where, maybe in your rush, it was there all along.
Scrapbook. Uh-huh.
Maybe it wasn't.
Is there anything that I don't have? Like, it sounds like I have everything, right? I got the box, the scrapbook. I have the scrapbook in my hands right now, right?
Right. And you have the
painting. Yeah, I have the note and the painting that I rolled up.
Right.
All right. Well, then this is like something weird is going on down here. Like, I've never seen anything like this. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, and just like, I'm gonna, instead of handing up the scrapbook, I'm just gonna climb up, just like get the fuck out of there.
Fair. So basically, as you hand up the scrapbook, the fog creates almost like, you've only seen this when you were like moving from Arizona to the north.
Yeah.
And it was on the road trip, and it was actually a tornado. And it was a huge thing off in the distance. It was beautiful, with swirling super clouds that twist and tumble as they roll, and arcs of lightning. But a large cone descended and touched down on the ground, swirling up things off in the distance. It was a beautiful sight from a distance. You see this same swirl coalesce up next to you in multiple tendrils. And as you hand up the scrapbook and Robert leans down, four of them go around his arm, pulling him forward down into you, tumbling.
Oh.
The door goes slap, and you're now locked down in here as this thing begins to coalesce.
What the fuck?
You. Go
Holy shit.
Roll me. What would be a good roll? I guess it would be dodge.
Okay.
Dodge, or you can roll a strength roll to catch him.
I'm gonna dodge, but I fail.
Dodge, fail. Man gets pulled down into you. The door slams. You take 1 damage as this whole 100-something pound man just collides into you, and you feel something pop in your shoulder. Nothing you can't get up from, but
yeah.
As the moment sits, the object begins to coalesce into the corner.
It's an object. I kind of drop the scrapbook and kind of scramble instinctively for the hunting knife.
As you pull out the hunting knife, the thing in the dark coalesces and pulls forward again and reaches out towards Robert once more.
God damn it, the kid.
No! What? And he's just still disoriented from the fall. He is beginning to actually be lifted up in preternatural speed and movement, and as the thing begins to coalesce around him and grab onto him as he struggles to fight
The
away from
thing, so by thing, it's like this weird mist, right? Like this incorporeal mist that's like kind
Yes.
of enveloping him and picking him up.
Yes. It's
So like,
an effort.
as I like, so is something happening? Do I have a chance to do a thing?
You have this is what's happening. You have a chance to do it.
Okay. When I ask that question, I'm like, what I'm trying to ask is, are you still trying to is there still more that you want to explain before I take an action?
Take an action.
Cool. So, I like I said, I instinctively grabbed my weapon, but as I'm like looking at this thing, this is no creature. This is nothing like I've ever seen before. And and he's being picked up and carried, and I drop the knife on the ground, and my hand goes to my pocket, my jacket pocket. It has both the note about the creature and being trapped, and how without it being bound, like as long as a kin of the Blackwood does not wear the ring, this creature's fucking trapped here. And I see like this kid, who I've been giving him hell all day, and I still I'm like, this fucker, I told him not to come down here now, but I take out the wadded up cloth of handkerchief with the ring in it, and I wonder if my kinship is close enough to the Blackwoods that I could prevent another murder, another death. I take the ring out, and I put it on my pointer finger.
As you put it on your pointer finger, it continues to coalesce, but the boy's arm begins to not. It pops for a moment, but then relaxes, and he's like, "Ah!" He's definitely dislocated it.
Yeah.
But it drops him immediately. And coalesces back into the ceiling. Above you.
I look at my hand.
Now with the hatch closed, it completely encompasses the ceiling.
So it's just there.
Yeah.
Kid. You alright?
Yeah. Yeah. What's happening?
Listen, I look at my hand and the ring. Say, I don't know if I completely understand it myself, but I think whatever it is that was attacking you just there has been at least temporarily abided. And I hold up my hand with the ring. I want to see if the mist, that form, interacts with it at all as I reach my hand up.
It as you reach your hand up, it kind of pushes away from where your hand is. Almost like
I
there's
kind of shake my head, kind of mutter a curse to myself. Oh, God damn it, Arthur, what the fuck have you brought me into? It's true. Kind of like realizing the gravity of like the interaction of everything that's happening here. And if I'm like making too many leaps, let me know. But I'm like kind of piecing things together, I feel like, given all the clues that I've discovered.
Oh, you're good.
I go over to the ladder. Actually, before I go over to the ladder, using the hand that doesn't have the ring I reach down and I try to pick him up. Just like lift him up.
As you go to lift him up, and kind of that all the talking and hubbub dies, you notice that there's, you don't even need to make a listen check, but there's just like a in the kind of noise in the back.
A what? What? Like a chanting or like a squishing?
It's squishy, it's chanting, it's a language, it's
Ugh. Somewhere in the ring.
Something.
Okay, but like I can't like discern like if it's coming from an area. I just kind of hear it.
It seems like it's coming from everywhere.
Kind of like as I'm holding him up, I'm like, "Do you hear that? What the? You hear that?"
No. Hear what? The silence.
Don't worry about it. I want to try to get us out of here, out of the hole, by like kind of like holding my ringed hand up and like helping him up the ladder. I want to see if I could part the mist enough to get him out of here.
As you go towards the ladder, you find that it all funnels towards the ladder. And as you kind of listen to the, it weirdly starts, it was nonsense, right? But
Yeah, but
it makes
no,
sense.
He was saying something, but what was he saying?
Free us?
I look down at the ring again. I want to try to reply to it.
How do you reply to it?
Guess in the only way that a hunter from Earth could conceivably do it, and that is to speak. And I'll say, how? I guess I'll ask how.
Onto the ground. It whispers.
That your noise gate, I think, filtered it out.
Onto the ground.
That's perfect. Unto the ground, he said, or into the ground. Unto the ground. Do I interpret that as put the ring back in the ground?
There would be one interpretation. I would say that it probably refers to the note that unto the ground I have bound the daemon.
Unto the ground.
From the note, from the
the scrap of paper. Unto the very ground I have bound the demon, but as long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped, and its gift of good fortune will remain untainted.
Go ahead and roll me an idea check, which is actually a intelligence roll.
Okay.
Damn. Well,
Can I use some of my luck on that one?
You can.
I have like 80 of it, right?
Yeah.
So like,
and you do gain it after like every successful encounter.
so how many so how much would I need to spend in order to make that a better outcome for myself?
You rolled a 78. You need 65 to succeed, so we need 13 luck.
Okay, so I'll use 13 luck.
Okay. You don't recall anything, but how do I make this a luck thing? You do recall some of the older folks saying like, back in your childhood when they were talking about the flower beds and stuff and planting them onto the ground. Like you remember having a conversation with like maybe your aunt or something like that, and as a kid you're like, onto the ground or under the ground? It's like unto. It's
Onto the ground.
And so it would be technically on the floor. You do know that, like, also just as another thing, houses back in these days were actually like either built on like straight bedrock, and there was actually a natural rock base, and then they cobblestoned and mortared everything else. So sometimes you'd have springs and stuff at the bottom. So you do know that this gravel that you see and that you've been moving around isn't the actual floor. There's a floor underneath. Kind of piecing those two things together, have you buried down to the floor underneath?
No. Fuck. All right. What I'd like to do is help. I'd like to get. I want to get Bobby out of here. I want to get him up. And then
like
I want
the
him.
entity doesn't
I want him to say like, I'm gonna close the hatch again. And be like, listen, don't you open this thing up again until I give you 2 knocks and a pat. Knock knock, pat.
How are you getting him up there? Through
Like I want to like using, so he has one shoulder that's fucked, right? So using the other shoulder, I climb up, like literally we're like arm in arm. You know, I could like use one foot to kind of help him up, and then I just want like, so I guess it would be strength. Like I want to help, like I'm essentially just helping him climb bit by bit. But once we're up at the top, I'm gonna push him up.
The mist is still there.
Oh, so it doesn't part when I wave the ring
ladder.
around it. Oh, so we're trapped.
I mean, you can. It doesn't part. You haven't tried just forcing.
I mean,
but I assume you don't want to force it.
I mean, yeah, that obviously looks like some bad shit. So I'm not gonna like. I thought it was interacting with my hand and like moving away from it. It was
when you were waving it in the ceiling. It avoided you.
But not in the
It seems to be actively not letting you leave easily.
So
and it continues to just whisper onto the ground in your ear.
Okay, so I go back down. I set Robert over in the corner. Away from where I was already digging.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna keep on digging. Scraping the gravel away. Seeing how deep I can go.
You dig a hole kind of right where you're standing. Reach the bottom. Nothing. Go ahead and roll me just a luck roll. This isn't a fail thing. This is just after about 3 or 4 holes, you finally strike something that isn't just bedrock. As you begin to clear it away, you find what can only be described as an arcane circle of sorts.
So like some like weird etchings or runes of some kind.
It's a circle. It looks like it's in a. It has a swirl in it, and there's runes all around it. But the more you clear off, the more you actually take a good look at it, the more you realize that it just seems like it's just twisting and turning in front of you, and it kind of hurts your eyes. Go ahead and roll me a sanity check.
I've been rolling hot on these sanity checks. Let's
see.
Woof! Not that time.
Not that time. Go ahead, and we're going to do a D4 of sanity loss. So go ahead and roll your D4. That's in the dice roller as well. There you go. So you'll lose 2 sanity.
That's 67.
Oh, that's not
okay. Woof.
So yes. That being said, the seal is before you. You know very little about this shit.
Yeah. Nothing.
But what do you think would be old Billy Graves' first instinct at seeing this?
I mean, there's obviously some kind of fucking Satanism, sorcery, occultism, something dark that happened in this here basement. Some kind of whatever it is I thought was happening here is definitely it's so much more than I could conceive or imagine. I have this chanting and here's the thing. I'm hardly a Blackwood. I feel like yeah, he's my kin, but I didn't want to get drug into some kind of deal with whatever the fuck is going on here. I didn't want to wear no ring. I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Seems like whatever you walked into won't let you. Even if you were to walk away, would you really be able to?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to forget, but I would hope I could.
That being said, I guess there's a couple options, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess
Go
I'm
head
like,
to
I
head
don't,
with it?
yeah, so I'm not sure, like, so I guess, like,
So you understand that you are able to communicate with it somehow.
yeah.
It says you can give it orders somehow. There's this seal that binds
Alright,
it.
well,
Or
I wanna
you
say,
could just say fuck
well,
it and try to fight it.
So,
Which is
so it was saying, let me out, and I was like, how? And it says, unto the earth. I dig a little bit, I find a rune circle, which is so that must be related to letting him out.
Yes.
The other thing I want to kind of try to then forcefully command it, like, get out of the way, let me out of the basement, move. And I'm just going to try to march my way up
Go ahead
the
and give me a
ladder.
power roll.
A power roll, okay.
Should be a part of your attributes. There you go. Nice. As you do this, it splits like the Red Sea from the doorway.
Okay. I'll go get old Robert, not old Robert, little Robbie, little Bobby. I want to try to help him out again.
All right. As,
What happens then?
As you push him out and kind of get him out, you begin to follow. And you feel that ring around you just kind of almost weigh heavy.
Yeah.
As you begin to climb up the ladder.
Weigh heavily, does that mean, like, I want to stay down here? Like, I might feel like a pull to not leave yet?
A little bit. But with
So,
that power
well,
roll, you fought
yeah.
it off more or less.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that feeling, but you fought that off. You can absolutely leave, but you do feel like there is a certain, not only weight to the ring itself.
Do I have the? Is the scrapbook still down there?
We'll assume you have it.
Okay.
We'll just say you grabbed it.
Ugh. This is.
So I think Billy needs to ask himself one thing.
Yeah.
Does he want to walk away from this? Or does he want to do something about this? That's really the only question he needs to answer, and that would take
So I think here's the thing is like, so
Sure.
Billy's kind of thinking to himself like, okay, so what if, yes, I might leave here, but what of the fate of Arthur? And how could any of this possibly be admissible in a court of law? Is beyond me.
Right.
Like, this is like
Beyond
this might just be, better yet, a thing that just dies. Like, maybe that, as long as So here's what I'm thinking, like,
Sure.
walking through my character's perspective. So I'm like a hunter, right? But I've seen what a caged animal can do. Something that is bidden, like, like a caged animal is gonna do things to people and itself that it would do anything to survive. And so here I'm reading about this like entity, this off-world entity, which I think the closest approximation or relation that I can make in my mind is going to be that of a trapped animal. So I'm thinking that the Blackwoods mess with something that they had no right messing with. Now, whatever it is, if this thing does not belong on Earth, then I don't think it should be on Earth. But if I release it, is it just going to be around here hurting people, murdering, eating? I don't know what the fuck. Or is it best that I keep my mouth shut and keep the ring and keep this cursed thing trapped in this goddamn basement forever?
I'm beaming because this is right where I want you. I want you to make this decision. Because I think it has pretty far rippling implications on which way you go.
Yeah.
It can color your character. Do you want to go on break while we think about it?
Yeah, can we take a 2-minute break?
We can take a 2-minute break.
Yeah, let's take a 2. I gotta think about it.
Yep, absolutely.
Cliffhanger, that's what we call it in the business.
We'll be back here after this commercial break.
Oh my god. Alright, I'll see you a second.
See you. Welcome back, everybody. I think we're ready to make a decision.
Okay. Listen, so
Move.
thinking about myself as a flawed character, as every human is. Growing up with one section of the family, look, like I'm not very well off. I'm out here in the I'm fighting for, like, I'm a hunter. I earn my keep for survival, and I think even though I scoff at city folk, I think I might just be a tad jealous of the fancy life and living that perhaps my cousin maybe had grown accustomed to in his New York City lifestyle.
Sure.
And thinking this through, that's something that I had nothing to do with, now I'm involved with, and something bad is trapped in here. Something bad. And I do not understand the repercussions of it being released. But I do, at least in theory, understand what will happen if I keep this ring on the ring of a finger of someone who's within the line. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't want this thing to get out, but I don't want too much to do with this whole nonsense. This was my choice. What I'd like to do is take the evidence that we've collected to suggest, at least into a court of law, that whatever happened to Rose could not have been done by my cousin, and perhaps return the ring to its rightful owner, my cousin, Arthur Blackwood, and then I could wash my hands of this whole affair and let the rightful people who signed this bargain deal with this bargain. So I'm gonna keep the ring for now. And fucking leave.
Fair. As you kind of have this monologue as you're climbing up the ladder to yourself, inner monologue, you your hands reach the top rung, and you go to reach out, and the darkness washes down back on you and around you, grabbing you as if and pulling you down as if in an undertow. Within a slip second. Go ahead and roll me a strength check.
Okay.
Hard success. Okay.
Hard.
As it fumbles and tears into you, you tear yourself out of its grip, ripping about 2 health points away from you, cutting through your leathers and your chaps.
What? It's cutting me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. How much damage?
2 damage. Nothing too mad. But as you scramble to get onto your feet, it pours out of the cellar to chase you. And, and rising over your head, splashes down.
Oh, shit.
Go ahead and give me an agility check.
Agility. Is that Dex?
Dex, I apologize. Great.
Success!
As you scramble forward, the monster coalesces over and around you, splashing down almost with water, switching its forms, and you make it out of the main splash zone. It doesn't grab onto you. You feel it almost get sticky within you and try to pull you back.
Oh.
Small, innumerable fingers grasping at you.
Ugh, innumerable fingers? I don't like that phrase. I don't like those collection of words. Innumerable fingers?
Yes.
Ugh.
As
Ew.
Robert slips and splashes down into the water and begins getting
What?
pulled back.
I thought he was up already.
He was. It splashed around both of you.
Oh no. And he falls back down?
He falls back down, and as you begin to break off and go forward towards the door, you see him begin to get pulled back into the basement, screaming and gurgling.
No, I stop and run back and try to grab onto his hand.
Grabbing onto his hand, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Oh, son of a bitch.
As your fingers grasp out, and his...
Can I use luck?
You'd have to use 80 luck.
I don't have enough luck. Ah!
Oh, sorry. You'd have to use 30 luck, sorry.
Oh, I'll use 30 luck.
You can use 30 luck. Okay. That's a lot of luck. Okay.
I dive for him. Try to grab his hand. Ugh.
As you grab onto his hand, and it sputters forth to kind of latch onto its shoulders. With that, you have just enough time with that luck, that moment. You are able to yank him out from it a little bit.
Oh, is it his broken? Is it his dislocated hand?
No, it's his good hand.
Okay,
You're holding
thank
onto
God.
his dislocated hand. And he screams in pain as you pull out his arm, and it stretches back, and you feel yourself pulling a little bit, but you need to give another solid tug before this goes off. Meanwhile, he's screaming in agony. I'd simulate, but it's a little graphic.
So I'm holding the
You're holding
dislocated
him by
hand.
his dislocated arm. You have him by the wrist.
Oh.
The whole mass is coalescing forward, and you have a choice to pull him. If you can get him off in the next few seconds, maybe you can get out of the door. Maybe.
I let him go. And I shut the door. The trap door. And I fucking hightail it out of here.
As it kind of slurps down, you see him being pulled back. You let go as he gets... You pull the door back.
As I let go, I say, I'm sorry.
You pull the door back. The door slams behind you as you begin fleeting off towards the door. Give me an agility check.
My God.
It will not be hard.
Oh! One.
Feel,
I rolled a 1.
As you slam it down, there is a wet, silly putty noise as the thing bursts forward. And as you full tilt run, shoulder into the door, crack it off the door frame, the front of the house kind of bursts forth, the windows kind of bulge and shatter a little bit, cracking as you exit out the front and continue running.
I just fucking haul it.
Screaming and wailing. I need you to roll me a sanity check. Alright, okay. It's still D6.
14.
D6.
I'm gonna use a luck.
No lucks on
Gotcha.
on sanity rolls. That's the only one.
Oh, you mentioned that. Yeah, gotcha.
Go ahead and roll a did I say D6? D4.
A D4. Gotcha. 3.
Okay. Beautiful. You will take, and I'll just have one more D4. Yeah. So 7 total sanity loss from that encounter.
Okay.
With the creature of darkness. As you run and flailing, screaming madly into the night, you lose some semblance of consciousness and black out. In your dreams, you are running through the woods, and you're playing hide and seek with Arthur. The sound of childhood laughter and the smell of fresh autumn leaves permeate the woods as you find yourself flitting in between the trees. When it seemed like every time Arthur found the hiding spot, he'd find the perfect hiding spot, and it would take you sometimes hours to find him. And as you kind of go searching through the woods for him, this time you find him very quickly. And it's your turn to hide. So you go and you find a small hole underneath a tree in the tangled roots. And as you climb into this hole, you find that it opens out actually a little bit underneath. And as you find yourself crawling through these worms and dirt and moss and sapling branches, you find that there's even small series of tunnels, but they're far too small for a human to crawl through, at least on their standing up, maybe crawling on all fours. But that being said, they're immaculately made. They even have trusses and supports built as if they were made of stone many millennia ago, maybe even antediluvian in nature. And as you crawl down these narrow passages, find yourself in chambers all of a sudden swimming in massive underground grottos. Bubbles and jellyfish and odd fungi illuminate the surroundings. You don't find yourself struggling to breathe as you swim nearly endlessly. As you swim down and down into a trench, an undersea trench. You see a bioluminescent greenish dome that which glows in the complete omni-cosmic dark of the deep sea. And from there you see something like maybe it's built into a mountain range or something, as that uses a natural feature of sorts that is kind of built in, or maybe it's draped over. As you drift down further and further, you find that is not a mountain, but a great beast of a thing, long dead and sleeping. As you gaze upon this sight, the same sounds from earlier continue to permeate your brain. Suddenly, you are brought from negative 3,000 meters deep to sea level in a great rush, and as you come out, you cough up a bit of water as you wake up in a small doctor's office.
What?
Oh, this man here said, well, there was a man that dropped you off from a company that said you were incapacitated. I did my best to shoot you some steroids, and that seems to wake you up, finally. You okay, sir? Seems like you had a little bit too much to drink or something.
Who brought me here? Where am I?
Oh, this lovely man in a fancy car. You know, he dropped you off with some stuff. He said that you had an encounter of some sort with like a grizzly bear or something. I don't know. I did my best to stitch up your legs.
My legs? I looked down. What happened to my legs?
In the adrenaline, you didn't really notice how bad it was, but you have like very large, probably 10-inch gashes on your legs.
Oh, shit.
Going from around your thigh, and there's probably you look and you're like not really able to count them very easily because there's so many small little ones. And he's like, well, it looks like you had about 24 lacerations. It was you should probably take it easy getting up. I've been doing my best to give you a little bit of vitamin C and whatnot to make sure that you can recover there. You should be fine.
Where are we?
Oh, we're in North New York, Northern New York, not too far from Albany.
What's today?
Oh, today's the 4th March. 1971. No, I'm just kidding. 1800.
I kind of like use my thumb to feel my pointer finger where I put the black ring on it. Do I feel the metal band on my finger?
Yes.
I try to sit up a little bit and maybe like kind of fall back down as he's telling me that you should probably rest for a little bit.
You've lost a lot of blood there.
Yeah. I need to I need to send a message.
Well,
I reckon.
got a telegraph. What do you need? And that can be determined off.
I think I need to. As I think like about what do I tell this fucking lawyer about what just happened about Bobby, who I left down there in that cellar? Whatever that monstrosity was, is like my thumb kind of like plays with the jewel, the black stone. Is it a stone? Like a... Well,
It's a pretty
yeah, like
bougie ring. Yeah, it's got a stone.
kind of like a polished black stone of some kind, and I kind of maybe play with it on my finger a little bit and think,
You're a lucky son of a bitch for surviving, though. Never seen wounds like that. And, most people don't walk away from something like that.
will I be able to walk? So I try to like wiggle my toes and feet.
Well, full articulation may be to be determined, but your prognosis is good. Like, no nerve damage from what we can tell. The fact that you're not in a morgue is even more miraculous.
I need a...
You lost like a quart and a half of blood.
I need a piece of paper and a pencil.
Yeah, sure. Produces it for you.
Then I write down a message to Mr. Klein.
Okay.
It says, "Dear Mr. Klein." Oh, and before I write this note, what belongings do I still have after that?
You haven't looked, but in meta you have everything.
Like, I guess I would look. Like, I would essentially ask, like, before I write this note or letter, I would ask, like, what do I have access to? What do you have? Like, what was brought with me? What did that kind stranger? And I'm gonna say he was a stranger. I'm not even. Oh no, they told him that I have some kind of account. Okay, so they know that.
So
let's say, what was I left with?
Well, it seems like your affiliate took most of the stuff that you had, but it seems like you have like your clothing, that ring.
My affiliate.
That man that brought you here.
Was there a scrapbook of camera pictures?
None of that. Seems like he might have took that himself.
So essentially, the only thing I really have, like, and I like, am I still wearing, like, what about in my pockets? Where's my coat? Where's my coat? I'm like freaking out.
As you freak out and go over to your coat and begin digging in, there's all the things that was in your pockets. There's your ring. There's all your personal belongings.
And so none of the note that I had that like detailed the bargain, not the painting. The only thing I have is the ring, aside from my own personal shit.
Well, no, you have everything that was on your jacket.
Okay.
But like as far as the photo, the camera, the box full of stuff, the scrapbooks, those are.
And I have the painting.
That's also missing.
Oh, okay. So no painting. Okay.
Unless that was tucked away in your.
I did take it and rolled it up and put it in my pocket.
Then it's in your pocket.
Say
the other thing that you find a little bit odd is that you find a notebook.
A notebook.
Mm-hmm. And as you flip through it, it's not.
So before I flip through it, I'm gonna be like, "Get out! Get the fuck out!" Like I'm shouting at the doctor, you know. Get out!
You're being irate.
Oh yeah, I'm hell irate. I'm confused. Like,
leave. Okay, we're gonna get Marianne. Get the guard. And he goes out into the door, into the hallway.
He gets the guard. All right. You know what? I'm gonna. This is bad. Like, I'm gonna grab whatever I have, and I'm gonna run out into the hallway, and I'm gonna try to get the fuck out of here.
Okay. As you kind of see him, he is heading out to like the front and is talking with the guard. You just like skirt out. You turn left. You see an exit right. You go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
Skirt out the hallway.
Kind of like as I'm running, I'm touching the gem, the ring. I'm playing with it, it's like I'm spinning it. Not really spinning it, but like I'm stroking the ring with my thumb as I'm like running, just compulsively.
As you open up the door to the office, there's a actual like wagon wreck outside, and just as he's about to go talk to the guard, that happens. They turn around to like be like, "What the hell's happening?" And you go skate out the back door without even being seen. All your stuff into. And as you run to the nearest alley or something, and collect your thoughts and look in through the whatever's missing, and notice the notebook.
Yeah.
You open it, and you see that it's Robert's
notes.
Yep. But it doesn't say Robert on it. In fact, the whole notebook is in your handwriting.
What the fuck?
And that's where we're going to end for today.
Well, I hate that. What? It was all in my handwriting?
Yes. Over the next few days, you end up going back to the law firm, and you find out that the evidence was turned in. You apparently talked to the man and just asked to be taken to the hospital, and there was no Robert with you. There's no young man sent with you. They tried to produce somebody, but they couldn't find anybody.
What about the painting?
The painting is
Does it
still
still look at me?
Painting's normal.
This doesn't look at me when I open it. It's just a painting.
It's a painting of man. Yeah.
And what of Arthur Blackwood?
Arthur Blackwood gets the evidence he needs. His lawyer spins it and says that basically the skull itself was enough evidence to determine that no human could have killed it, and it was determined that she got mauled by a bear in the basement. That was the official ruling and argument. That being said, with hard evidence like that, and then the rest of it was more or less omitted, the whole genie angle. They were just trying to determine, they were trying to make enough
They just needed
doubt
something, yeah.
to make it so that Arthur was not the prime suspect. So Arthur is sprang from prison and saved from the electric chair.
Woof.
Yes.
So, all right.
That is all for what's in the cellar.
Fuck, that was great. That was super cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So yes, we will determine what happens with the ring on another date. But yeah, we'll now for the rewards. For discovering the scrapbook, fully realizing the Blackwood family good luck, you'll gain 1 sanity point.
Oh, goody. I have 59 sanity points.
For finding and passing the skull onto the into evidence and helping exonerate Arthur Blackwood, you'll gain 1d4 of sanity.
Cool. Should I roll that?
Go ahead and roll that. Yep. Nice.
Cool. That's...
And then for leaving the creature bound, go ahead and roll me a d8. And realizing that, go ahead and actually, yeah. And realizing that maybe things happen badly for other people, and that's what gives you your luck.
Yeah. So do I add that or?
Sanity. You'll lose 3 sanity.
Okay.
That being said,
all right.
For the amount of sanity you lost against the creature, which is 7, you'll gain 7 Cthulhu Mythos points.
Oh. Is that in the... Where
That's
do I
in
put
the
that?
investigator skill.
Oh, 7. Cool.
Yep. So you have
All
a
right.
little bit of exposure to that. With
A little.
a little bit, yeah. That's just a small little taste.
No, what have I
Oh,
and
Poor
then... Bobby. Bobby, these
Bobby.
dirty hands.
Who's Bobby?
I don't
Sunday
know.
Billy.
Am I Bobby? I don't know.
So yes, go ahead and roll me a improvement score for all the skills that you succeeded. We can go
what's...
back,
Oh.
but I believe it
Oh,
was spot hidden, natural world.
Medicine. It was not medicine. It was first aid.
First aid, that's the one. And I think there was one more near the beginning. I want to say, listen,
you're right.
and dodge.
Oh yeah. All right, so they're all clicked.
Cool. And now we're going to do an improvement check for all these.
Okay.
We'll start with luck. So go ahead and do a
luck check.
luck check. We want to fail this.
Hmm.
Oh, bummer.
I succeeded it.
Dang. All right. Well, let's go on to the skills.
All right.
Go ahead and do dodge.
So I roll a dodge check.
Yeah. You'll
Yay.
get on that. We'll do the improvements all together. So I'll just
Okay.
mark off that dodge was done. Cool.
Okay.
First
Next
aid.
is first aid.
First aid will not increase.
Okay.
Neither will listen. Natural world. Neither of that. Spot hidden. Bummer. All right. Dodge will improve though. So
Hooray.
go ahead and roll.
So things
a
I'm
D10.
bad at. So roll a what?
D10.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Natural 10.
There you go. Improve it by 10.
What a cool mechanic. I'm into that.
Yeah, I like it. It really kind of solidifies it. Now obviously time will pass on. We will have about, if I'm not mistaken, 24 years pass. So you have time to recover from your trauma.
Am I able to take off the ring and give it back to my back to Arthur, or is it stuck on my hand?
Roll a power check. Yeah, you can take it off.
I don't want any this is one of those things that like any reasonable person would want to never think about again. Like I want to forget about everything that happened in that fucking basement. You know, like I will I get it. Like Billy's out or whatever. Like is he? Yeah, and I I give it to him. I don't want it, and I tell Billy I never want to talk to him about this or him ever again.
Yeah. Do you do this through official channels, or do you just as soon as he got out of jail, here's your fucking ring?
Yeah, maybe as soon as he gets out of jail, I pick him up. I'm
right.
I'm the the next of kin, because who else has he got to pick him up out of prison? I'll pick him up, maybe in my car,
right,
or his car or whatever, and I yank the ring off my finger and I set it down in between us, and I look him dead in the eyes, and I say, I never want to speak to you ever again in my entire life. We don't know each other. We are no longer kin. You speak to me about this or anything else, and I'll kill you.
Billy.
I can't hear you at all, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I was dumbstruck and I was being a little quiet.
Oh, no worries. I
Billy.
didn't know if you said anything.
Yeah. Oh, Billy, I don't know what you think, but we're not evil.
Not evil. He says, I don't know what your definition of good is. But whatever it is you and the rest of your line have associated themselves, whatever Milton done hundreds of years ago was nothing good.
No,
And I don't want any part of it. I told you, we ain't kin. And I leave him the car, get out of the car and leave the ring and walk away.
he just looks at the ring and looks up at you, and the door's still ajar as the engine's still idling, and just watches you just walk off into the out of sight.
Cool.
There you go.
That was our after credits scene.
That was the epilogue. But yes, I am excited to do more of these. I'm excited to get the whole gang together, but we all have to have our own traumatic experiences before we do that.
Indeed,
The
we
next
do.
one up is going to be Fickle Ficus.
Oh, nice.
That will be next week. We haven't solidified a date. We're kind of keeping it light and breezy, as it were. But yes, we will keep you posted on that. That being said, as we roll through all these, we will be grouping up everybody and starting a proper campaign. And I'm excited for every branch of this story.
This is super fun. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you do not know Squingleberg, make sure that you go check him out. My name is Grinning Moon. It's been a pleasure having you, and I'm out of here. Peace, and maybe we'll find a raid.
Oh boy.
We'll see if anybody's worth raiding. And
Who's out there?
I will talk to you guys later. Bye.